Have you ever asked, who am I? Of course you have, because that question fills our minds, especially during teenage years. On top of that, identity is currently an insanely hot topic. So while asking, what does it mean to be human, I think it's worth addressing identity. In this video, I'm going to share some of my thoughts on identity that have transformed the way I think about myself. Maybe they'll get you thinking too. Don't go anywhere. Asking questions of personal identity seems to be an important part of what it means to be human. And there's this idea that identity is purely something you decide for yourself, a way of declaring yourself independent from everyone and everything else. But I'm not sure that's the case, and this is why. I had a university professor who'd say you were someone else's before you were your own. Meaning that before you could walk or talk and before you were even aware of your own existence, you had an identity. Your parents named you and you belonged to a family and you were loved by others and you had a personality, likes and dislikes, all before you understood that you were anything. You see, thinking that identity is purely something we choose for ourselves forgets that we were someone with an identity before we made decisions at all. In so many ways, my identity doesn't set me completely apart from everything. It's actually incredibly relational. Let me show you what I mean. When I think of my identity, I'd say I'm Canadian, or I'm a youth worker. I'm not a sports fan, but I am a YouTuber. I'm a son, and I'm funny, at least sometimes. But you see, all of those things have to do with how I relate to people or to the world around me. This is key. It's hard for me to say who I am without reference to something outside of myself. That's why the question of God's existence is so important. If God exists, then that says something about our identity, whether we like it or not. And if God created humanity, then we were His before we were our own. We were known by Him, loved by Him, and given a purpose by Him. And if God made us, then we have a relationship with Him, the relationship between creator and creature. And that relationship is a part of our identity that we can't escape or choose our way out of. In fact, the Bible acknowledges exactly that and tells us we were made like God, in His image. Consider subscribing if this video got you thinking, and why not share it with someone you love so you can continue the discussion with today's question. What's the most defining thing about your identity? And how do you know? Thanks for watching and all your love and support. Honestly, some of the ideas in this video have been rattling around my brain for a really long time, so I was just happy to get them out there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.